Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tarun again, back with another fitness video for you folks. Now today I want to talk about something which I believe is one of the most talked about topic in the supplement industry, especially in India. And if I'm not mistaken, I usually get somewhere between 20 to 25 questions on a daily basis on this particular query. And what is this query? This query is around raw protein. Raw protein is your Davisco. Davisco is a company, it's an American company which makes raw, pure protein. Now, the topic of this video is, should you be taking raw protein? Is raw protein safer? Agreed, raw protein is definitely cost effective. What are the side effects of raw protein? If you were to take it, is it better to take raw protein, or it's a good idea to take little processed protein for your body to kind of absorb it a little more efficiently? So in this video, I'll try to address all these questions for you folks. So let's go. So first of all, guys, let's understand raw protein. There are too many questions floating around raw proteins that hey, is raw protein good, is raw protein bad? I'm a firm believer, if you were to do your research, you would not find too much data around raw protein, for a simple fact, because let's face it, supplement industry is $1 billion industry, and nobody would want to leak out their trade secrets, because raw protein is something which every company at some point or the other, the supplement company has used it if they don't have their own R&D labs where they can make their own set of proteins. So there's not too much of data around it. So whatever I'm sharing with you is my own experience in the fitness industry, my own experience in the supplement industry, and my own experience with people taking raw protein as a protein powder. So if you want to save money, definitely raw protein can be of help to you. Usually a box of a kilo raw protein would cost you somewhere rupees 1500 per kg. Davisco, guys, this is a US company. What they do is, they call contract manufacturing. What they do is, if you are interested in buying a Davisco product, all you have to do is go onto their website. And remember, their website is not davisco.in. Their website is called daviscofoods.com, and under that you would see their commodity products, and under commodity products you'll find whey products, and under whey products you'll have specification of whey products, which includes your WPCs, which means whey protein concentrate 80%, WPC 80% heat stable, Instanite 80%, so on and so forth, different kinds of whey protein, and there you can order. Now this is what the Davisco does, which is daviscofoods.com. Now Indian retailers, what they do is, obviously they understand this market really well, and what they do is they import this Davisco raw protein from the US. So it usually comes in a katta of 22 kilos. Big 22 kilos is somewhere between 50 lbs, and it could also go up to about 100 lbs. Now obviously a person like you or me would not buy a 50 lbs box, for a simple reason, because obviously you cannot use it that much of protein in a month or 2 months, unless and until you would have the intent to sell it. So that's why these local retailers, they get this. Now comes the retailer part of this. Now if you were to go onto these websites, because I get this question a lot from you folks at Tarun, I've got this Davisco protein from Davisco website, which is called davisco.in. Now I'm going to pull that site for you. Now davisco.in is nowhere associated with daviscofoods.com. If you were to see their footer, it clearly says, Nutrition Planet is nowhere associated with Davisco Foods International Limited. Clearly they are using Davisco as a brand to sell Davisco product, but they have no connection whatsoever with Davisco. So understand that about it. Having said that, should you take raw protein or should you not take raw protein? This is more on the retailer side of it. Now that and the price that I'm seeing here is, they're selling a 2 lb box for $14.99, and they're selling a 4 lb box for, I believe, 2800. So and they also have a 50 lbs box. So which is pretty interesting. So they have all the price points, which includes for your whey protein. Now comes, should you take raw proteins or not, or should you be considering buying whey protein? Forget about the retailers, forget about buying it from XYZ, because that comes much later. But first understand, should you consume raw proteins? Now, if you were to Google it, if you were to find out, and if you were to do your research, you will not find too much of data around it. So here's what this information will come in handy to you. I believe anything which you take raw, I believe, it kind of does not get absorbed too quickly. And I've done a separate video on it, wherein I've shared my experience on raw protein. I'm going to put that video under the description box for you to get a glimpse of it. I haven't had a great experience with raw protein for a simple fact that because it was raw, and because it was raw, my body didn't digest it properly. For example, if you were to take anything which is raw, for example, if you were to take fish, raw fish, even raw fish, 100 grams fish would have some amount of carbs also, and some amount of fats too, and protein, because that's the way our body understands food. It has to have a holistic food to it. Similarly, if you were to take chicken breast also, chicken breast would also have a bit of carbs and fat and protein, because it's not pure protein. Similarly, if you were to take something which is as raw protein, chances of some people absorbing it are definitely higher, and some people will not get the required desired benefits from it. So it's obviously a divided school of thought. So I'll tell you, if I've seen people who've taken it, they're absolutely fine. There are no side effects, concerned side effects till date. And I've also seen some people taking raw proteins, and they've had issues with diarrhea. They've had issues with their uric acid going up. They've had issues with too much stress on their kidneys. That happens with every guy who takes high amount of protein, which is normal. So you don't have to be worried about it, so long you're cognizant about that. Now point comes, should you be investing in raw protein? Now guys, most of these retailers that you see, they're selling it as raw, but you would also find some people, they process it. When I mean processing it, they add some artificial sweeteners, they add some bit of processing onto it. So there are both flip side and the good side to it. I'll talk about the good side first. The good side is obviously, it's not raw protein anymore, it's processed now, so your body can absorb it better. Now the flip side is obviously when they are processing it on their own, the chances of they duplicating the product or using glucose over whey proteins are also high. So obviously there is a catch-22 situation. That's why I would recommend you to buy. You can buy it from anywhere. You can even buy it from Nutritional Planet, davisco.in, or you can buy it from NutriMed, whatever. You can buy it from anywhere. You can buy raw protein and see it for yourself how it works for you. As far as the long-term side effect goes, it's still at a pretty nascent stages. We still don't know how the body is going to react to these kind of proteins. But I'm a believer that you should always take something which is more processed in nature, because your body will break it down, and probably you have to make it easier for your body to absorb. But some people would like to kind of experience it on their own, and please, I'm urging you to do that. I'm not against raw protein. I never was and I never will be, because I think it's one of the most cost-effective way to get your protein intake. Plus, you're getting the purest form of protein. Please go ahead and buy it from any of the retailers. But it's just the side effects of it. Some people will absorb this protein well, and some people won't absorb it really well. And the retailer side of it, you can buy it from anywhere. But just remember that davisco.in is nowhere associated with Davisco. So no company in India is associated with Davisco. They're just getting it from daviscofoods.com, and then they're just selling it through as a Davisco product. There are no way in connection or have any association with Davisco as a brand. Just remember that, so that when you're buying, you have to make an informed decision that I'm buying Davisco not from a Davisco food guy, but I'm buying it from a local retailer. So I hope this information comes in handy to you. I hope you, if you want to try out whey protein, raw protein, try it out and see how that goes for you. And do share your experience with me. My experience hasn't been that great, but that doesn't mean your experience would also not be great. I'm sure a lot of it's cost effective, and when something which is cost effective, we find ways to make it more interesting and tastier. So I'm sure you will also find that way around too. So any one of you who have any questions around it, feel free to reach out to me either on my YouTube or on my Facebook or even on my Instagram, and I'll be very happy to help you with your protein query. So until we meet again, peace.